Alright, so this is the first of 2 reviews for the quiz on solving with logarithmic equations. So if I were you, I would pause this video, try the problems on your own first, and then check to see that your answers are correct afterwards, and really closely watch the ones that you got wrong. Alright, so number 1, how many months will it take for $700 to turn into $1,400 when compounded continuously? Remember that you need to look and see how it's compounded first so you can determine what formula you're going to use. Since it's continuously, we're using A equals P e to the RT, which means I need to identify what the A is, what the P is. E is a number, so I don't have to worry about that. What's the R and what's the T? So, how many months will it take for $700 to turn into $1,400? That tells me 700 is what I have to start with, so that's my P. And I want 1,400 in the end, so that's my A. So 1,400 and 700. At a rate of 12% is 0.12 for my rate, and I don't know my time. So I can go ahead and plug this in. My A is 1,400 equals my P, which is 700, E to the R, which is 0.12 times T. So my issue with this one is that my exponent has a variable in it. If I want to get that variable alone, I need to get it out of the exponent. But before I need to do that, I should remember that I need to get rid of anything not raised to the exponent first. So I'm going to divide by 700, which will give me 2 equals e to the 0.12t. Now that only the e is being raised to the exponent, I can change this to logarithmic form, which remember is log of the base, log base b of a, equals x, which is my exponent. So this would be log of my base, which is e, of the answer, which is 2, equals 0.12t. Now before I go any further, I need to remember, anytime I see this log with a base of e, that's really not a log, it's the natural log. So I should rewrite it as ln of 2 equals 0.12t. And then to get t alone, we can just divide by 0.12. And we can go ahead and type that in our calculator. So ln of 2 divided by 0.12 would be 5.77623 equals t. Now we need to make sure we read carefully. Time is always in years, so this is the number of years. However, when we read the question, it's even capitalized to say how many months. So remember, there's 12 months in a year, so we're going to do 5.77623, and we're going to multiply that by 12. Multiply that by 12 to find out the number of months, which is about 69. So then we would say it will take 69 months to get to $1,400. Because remember, if it's a different amount of money, it would take a different amount of time, so we need to specify that. All right, the next one, they're asking us to solve this. Well, I could go back to thinking about the beginning and trying to make my bases the same, but there's no way to make 4 and 5 into the same base. So, since I have an exponent that's got a variable in it, I need to get my variable out of that exponent by changing it into a log. So, we're going to do the same thing we did basically above. So, log of the base, which is 4, log base 4 of the answer equals the exponent. All right, and then before I solve this any further, I know that I don't know what log base 4 of 5 is, so I'm going to do change of base here. So log of 5 over log of 4. And then I can go ahead and type that into my calculator, which is 1.16096 equals 3x plus 1. So then I can subtract 1, which would be 0.16096 equals 3x, and then I can divide by 3. So x would equal 0.537. Now, I always put everything in there and leave it in my calculator in each step in its fullest form, so I would have divided that, then just pressed -1 enter, then divided by 3 enter to get the most exact answer in the end. If we had asked for an exact answer, then you wouldn't have even done this change of base. You would have left it this way and just add it 1 and divide it by 3. Okay, but since it's not specified there that we want an exact answer, you should use change of base to go a little further. So now we're asked to expand this, right? So the first thing I see here is the division. And remember, division is the same thing as subtraction. So I would really look at this as log of 16y squared z to the 4th minus, log base 4, don't forget to put your base, log base 4 of the 3rd root of x. Now when I expand this one out, this is all multiplication between them, right? So this would be, and remember, multiplication means that you're adding, so log base 4 of 16 plus log base 4 of y squared plus log base 4 of z to the 4th minus, and then this one doesn't have a way of breaking it up, but because I realize that this is a cube root, this is really x to the 1/3 power, which will help me when I try to expand that further. Now, the one thing that I will tell you, most of you will be fine with this. You'll remember to take your exponent out, so it'd be plus 2 times log base 4 of y plus, remember, taking your exponent out, 4 times log base 4 of z minus 1/3 log, remember to put your bases. If you don't remember your bases, you will get marked down. Now this one is the key piece of this one that I think most people will miss. Log base 4 of 16. Isn't this really saying 4 to some power is 16? Well, 4 to what power is 16? Well, that'd be 4 squared. So my question mark is a 2. So in the end, this is actually 2 plus all of that. So that's very important. If you have all numbers and no variables, you should try to simplify that. All right, and number 4 asks you to rewrite this as a single log. In other words, we're going to need to compact it back together. So we have 1/2 log of x plus 3 plus 2 log of x. And remember, this really just means I'm going to take this and put it in here as an exponent, because we can't deal with the addition until we get rid of the rest of it. So this would be to the 1/2 power, right? So this would be like log of x plus 3. Now be careful, because we're taking all of x plus 3 to the 1/2 power, right? Plus log of x squared. Now this looks a little funky. We wouldn't normally do that, so let's change that 1/2 power into a square root, right? So this is log of the square root of x plus 3 plus log of x squared. And now we can't do anything with this because of the plus sign is in the log, right? But this plus sign that's outside of the log, since our logs have the same base because they both have base 10, since there's nothing written, we actually need to put these together. And addition, remember, means that we're going to multiply them. So I'm really doing log of x squared times the square root of x plus 3. And then I can't go any further with that because the squared and the square root, so D should be your final answer. Okay, and we're going to look at the next page in the next video.